So if we're talking about predictions that are going to happen for, this AEW show in Glasgow, I think the number one prediction is going to be that everyone there is going to have a bloody nice time. That was one of the most cringe-inducing things I've ever said. I don't think I can keep that as the intro. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about AEW Dynamite. In particular, we are talking about AEW Dynamite in Glasgow that is taking place next week, and these are my big predictions for the show. Some wild out there predictions that I think are going to happen on the show, on not just Dynamite, but also it can happen across Collision. These are going to be my 5 picks, and we're going to talk about them in just a little moment. But before we do, please subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below, and I'll try to reply to every single one of them as we dive into this, starting with AEW Dynamite in Glasgow. I'm very excited. UK crowds are the best. Forbidden Door is on the horizon. We've got there so soon from All In last year. How has it been a year already? I can't wait. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. And I think that Tony Khan knows these shows are big deals. He sells a lot of tickets for these UK shows. And I think that he's going to hopefully load up the build to Forbidden Door. Because while I like the build for Forbidden Door, I think it's been a little bit underwhelming in terms of the Forbidden Dooriness. So I'm going to talk about some of my predictions, some cool predictions that I think are going to happen. Coming in at number 5, we have my prediction for the All-Star tag that I do believe will happen. Tony Khan loves these All-Star tags. He does them quite a lot, and I believe that this is going to be a star-studded match. And my predictions for the participants, that's why this is a wild prediction, because I'm predicting everyone who's going to be in it. I think on the good guy side, we're going to have Swerve Strickland, we're going to have Hiroshi, Tanahashi, and Jet Speed. Those are my 4, and they will take on the Don Callis family of Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Trent Beretta, and Lance Archer. Did I say Lance Archer? Josh Alexander. I said Josh Alexander in my notes. Josh Alexander. Those would be my teams. Those would be the teams that I would put against each other for an All-Star tag. Tell me that does not sound like a good time. I think that could be absolutely class. And yeah, an All-Star tag is definitely coming to this show. If this is the one show that he does not do an All-Star tag on, I will be flabbergasted. I will be floored, because to me, perfect time to do one. There's a lot of interconnecting stories. The Don Callis family, the best faction in wrestling right now. They could easily be a part of it. Let's make this happen. Coming in at number 4, we want some more New Japan integration. Now, I'm going to pretend that I'm fully up to date on the G1 Climax at the moment, but I think we need some New Japan representation, and that is why here I have got the Bullet Club, War Dogs, Invasion. Now, this will probably be a light invasion. I think just getting the War Dogs on the card, maybe not even David Finlay, sort of the leader. He's not the leader anymore. I don't think. He was kicked out of Bullet Club, so I don't think he's technically affiliated with the War Dogs. I'm not sure who the leader is. Evil? I don't think it's Evil. He's House of Torture. I don't know who the leader of War Dogs is. Fake fan, clearly. But I think the guys like your Gabe Kidd's injured. But I think you'll get the War Dogs in there in some capacity. Just for an excuse, you'd see Drill and Maloney in there, mixing it up with some AEW guys. I think the War Dogs could potentially show up. I'd like to just see a faction from New Japan appear. I'm not House of Torture, anyone but House of Torture, but I think the War Dogs would be a great fit, even if it's just like the 4-way match where Clark Connors was a part of it, the international 4-way, just seeing some War Dogs representation. So I'd love to see Drill and Maloney be the guy to come across and maybe challenge for, like, it can't be the TNT title. I can't think of any more titles off the top of my head from AEW. I just want to see Drill Maloney on the show, okay? If that means the War Dogs invade, that's fine. But Drill Maloney, that's what I want. Drill Maloney on the card. Let's make it happen. Coming in at number 3, we have a wild prediction, because it seems like we're going to get the answer to this tonight. I believe that Hangman Page versus MJF will be at All Out. I don't think that'll be the Forbidden Door match. I think Hangman probably has something else in store for Forbidden Door, and that is why I think that Mystico will appear and set up a match with MJF for Forbidden Door. That feels Forbidden Door. They've still got more gas in the tank for that feud. Mystico not being on the show is a choice. I think Mystico would be amazing on Forbidden Door, and him being in there with MJF, having a big singles match with MJF at Forbidden Door, that's a lot of star power out there, right there. That is something very, very cool that we would all like to see sort of blow off this feud. MJF picking up the win, going into his match with Hangman Page. I think that makes all the sense in the world of having MJF versus Mystico, and I think Mystico appears live. I think he potentially runs in when maybe Hangman's getting beaten down by MJF. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with Mystico in this feud, in this Forbidden Door build, and I'll be shocked if Mystico does not have a match on the card, but we shall see. But yes, I think at the Glasgow show, it is confirmed Mystico versus MJF for Forbidden Door. Coming in at number 2, now I did a lot of research looking into this. I was trying to find the highest thing in Glasgow and just say Darby Allin jumps off it, because that is a fine prediction to make for most shows. But it seems we've got the match set, Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. I think it will be confirmed that this is a lights out match. Lights out matches, I can't remember the last one they did. For some reason, the only one I can think of, I can't remember if it was lights out, was Adam Cole versus Jericho. Surely that wasn't the last lights out match they did. But I think this needs a step. You know, you've done Darby running people over, leaving people in body bags. I think if this is just a straight singles match, that is disappointing. So I think this has to have some sort of gnarly, hardcore step attached to it. And I think a lights out match is perfect. I really, really do. And at number 1, we have Will Ospreay appearing. That's right. I think Will Ospreay is going to make a return to AEW before this show. That is my theory. I know he's banged up. I hope he's okay. I hope he's fit to return. And I think my prediction will be he does appear at this show. And my wild prediction, he sets up a singles bout with Callum Newman. I think that match will be great. I think it would be so cool to see. Like a really interesting direction for them to go. Yeah, I'd really be hyped for that. I think Ospreay will appear in some capacity on Forbidden Door because, you know, it's in the UK. Like, he'd just want to make an appearance, if anything else. He'd just want to sort of stand there and be like, hello, Will Ospreay is here. So yeah, I think, wild prediction, we get Callum Newman versus Will Ospreay. And those are my predictions. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you want to see at this Dynamite? Do you want to see Sting? Do you want to see Kenny Omega? Do you want to see Mercedes Moné? Let me know down in the comments and I'll try to reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support and have a nice day.